Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Monday, February 26, 2017. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin was higher, more than 6.84% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 10,246, a high of 10,341, and a low of 9,331. That's $1 for 9,785 Satoshis, back below the 10,000 Satoshi barrier. The Meyer multiple is around 1.18. The Meyer multiple was coined by the Investors Podcast and named after early Bitcoin investor Trace Meyer. The Meyer multiple we can explain right here in this amazing chart that I made. What is the Meyer multiple? The 200-day moving average divided by the price of Bitcoin. For example, the 200-day moving average, at least the 200-day simple average, I hope I'm doing this right, we'll double check later, is 8,588 divided by a current price of 10,199 equals 0.84, which if we look historically, the average Meyer multiple is 1.47. So this would be a very low Meyer multiple, assuming that I'm calculating it correctly. If we look at the price and the Meyer multiple over time, we can see that when the price of Bitcoin is high, but the moving average is lagging behind, the Meyer multiple could go as high as 8 or 6. One might suggest these would be selling opportunities. Conversely, when the Meyer multiple is low, like when it's low right here, below 1, all the time here, below 1, presumably that would be a buy. But once again, this is not investor advice. This is just another metric to hopefully help you understand the market and make good choices. Special thanks to Trace Meyer for allowing us to use the Meyer multiple and for being an early Bitcoiner we can all respect. Thank you, Trace. Moving on, Poloniex joins Circle. That's right. You thought that Circle had left cryptocurrency behind after disabling it in their app, which, if they'd kept using it, it would have been a great competitor to Square. Instead, Circle went their own way, trying to compete with Venmo and PayPal. But now they've bought the Poloniex exchange. Giving Circle's track record, one will assume they will remove cryptocurrency from Poloniex. Jokes. Bulletproofs, the latest technique to improve Bitcoin's confidentiality. I've only read one article about this, but I am very excited. It sounds like Bulletproofs takes the idea of confidential transactions, which would allow you to send money without people knowing how much money you send, which could be a big problem if you're moving $5 million around and there's only a certain number of Bitcoiners who have $5 million. You could be easily detected, or at least you could guess that you're about one of 20. With Bulletproofs, you have the confidential transactions. Then they found a way to do zero knowledge proofs without that laptop thing that Zcash did, where you have to smash the laptops without a trusted setup. They've somehow found a way to do it with math. It took a little longer. The process is a little different, but once again, this is the difference between Bitcoins and altcoins. Altcoins go out there, do things they might not need to do, smash a bunch of laptops, travel around the world distributing the parts, whereas the Bitcoin cryptographers came up with a better way. This is really exciting new technology, and we're going to talk a lot more about this in the future. They were also talking about bulletproofs on the recent Bitcoin news show with the Vortex. Check that out down below. Bitcoin Core 0.16.0 with full support for Segwit gets an official release. Things might move a little slower on Bitcoin, but that's just because they're trying to fly an airplane without landing it, ever. Segwit is coming to Coinbase and Bitfinex. That's right. They dragged their feet. They tried Segwit 2x. They wanted higher transactions counts. But in the end, the users and the coders came together and won a victory for Bitcoin. Segregated witness is active on the network and has been adopted by the major exchanges. And just a reminder, as Microsoft researchers say, public blockchain on-chain scaling degrades decentralization. That's right. If you have too many transactions, you blow up the nodes. The nodes have to become supercomputers, and then there's less supercomputers in this world, so it's easier to shut down Bcash. It's easier to censor Bcash. And we can't have this happen to Bitcoin. That's why we need better solutions. And finally, this little section we're going to call Mad Bitcoins Predicts the Future. All of the following stories were correctly predicted on the Mad Bitcoin show. All you had to do was watch. Bitcoin bitterness starts to make messy divorces even worse. As predicted on Mad Bitcoins, Bitcoin and its confusing and disturbing distributed nature, allowing you to send money to an anonymous, seemingly anonymous address. Did you send the money to gamble? Did you send the money to buy something? Or did you send the money to hide it from your spouse? No one knows because it's Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Spouses are hiding assets. This is an incredible complication for the courts, and divorce court will never be the same. Cryptocurrency strip club opens in Las Vegas where customers can pay, quote unquote, secretly via Bitcoin. As predicted on the Mad Bitcoin show, a cryptocurrency strip club has opened in Las Vegas where dancers are temporarily tattooed with QR codes so that they can be paid in Bitcoin. That's right, this entire story predicted on Mad Bitcoins, I would say around 2013, maybe even 2014, years ago. And finally, nearly half of 2017's cryptocurrencies ICO projects have already died. Nearly half. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. And now moving on. Original Pizza Day purchaser does it again with a Bitcoin Lightning Network. Shout out to Blockstream, who brought Laszlo Hanex, the man who purchased the world's first physical item transaction in Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, has now bought 2 more pizzas using the Lightning Network. Congratulations, Laszlo. You opened up a whole world last time. Let's hope you open up a new one this time. Finally, BitPay is going out of business. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. That's BitPay bans payments to merchants of explicit content, cloud mining, and gambling. That's right. They don't want porn on BitPay, so the internet doesn't want BitPay on it. We've seen this before with the Betamax versus VHS debate. Betamax didn't have porn. We've seen it with HD, DVD versus Blu ray. I think Blu ray had more porn. And we've seen it with streaming technologies, payment technologies. The internet as we know it is driven forward by porn. Bitcoin itself is all about choice, the ability to send your money to WikiLeaks, the ability to send your money censorship free to something that the government doesn't like. Well, BitPay wants to be the new censor. Bye bye, BitPay. Sad to see you go. Bitcoin startup backer BnkToTheFuture closes a $33 million ICO. Congratulations to Simon Dixon, friend of the show and the network, for his big success with BnkToTheFuture. BnkToTheFuture funds other Bitcoin startups and now apparently has quite a role to do it on their own. Poll: Bitcoin more popular with Czechs than the euro. Impressive. Of course, Czechoslovakia does not, sorry, the Czech Republic, sorry, does not have the euro yet. They are still using their own currency, which when I visited there was a pain in the butt. But they would prefer to go with Bitcoin than the euro. A little bit of future here from the Czech Republic. And finally, someone just bought $400 million worth of Bitcoin. That's a great buy. Of course, the price went up and the price went down, but it's impressive to see that the Bitcoin market can handle such a large transaction. And one of our last stories today, Elon Musk just revealed the surprising amount of Bitcoin he owns. Now, a little backstory: Elon Musk started the company X.com, originally offering checking accounts on the internet directly, later merged with PayPal to offer people the ability to send money around the internet directly. However, PayPal did not make a independent token because they were worried about money laundering concerns, which would have been out of control. So he's very smart. He created Tesla and SpaceX. He's very much ahead of the technology. So one would assume Elon Musk into cryptocurrency, you must have a lot of Bitcoin, you have a lot of money. He says he has about 0.25 Bitcoin that a friend sent him. So Elon Musk has around $2,500 worth of Bitcoin. So if you didn't get into Bitcoin early, don't feel bad. Even Elon Musk, probably one of the smartest men on the planet, didn't get into Bitcoin early. And he had everything going for him: PayPal, SpaceX, Tesla, piles of money, smart people telling him things, people even asking if he was Satoshi Nakamoto because of his previous involvement with PayPal and the ideas of cryptocurrency. But he only owns a quarter. I also read that Steve Wozniak's Bitcoins were stolen. Sorry to have it happen, Woz. You're a great guy, even if you can't handle your private keys. And one more story. Amelia Arras prepares to defend Bitcoin's title at Money 2020 Asia race. Unbeknownst to us, Miss Arras won the race a few years ago at Money 2020. It's a 5-day race, land and sea. Unbelievable. She beat out all the other payment companies. And this is when Bitcoin was young and still kind of unknown. Now it's expected that Bitcoin should beat out all of the other participants to claim victory once again in the Money 2020 payments race. Congratulations, Miss Ross. Run for Bitcoin. Run fast. The Bitcoin price moved about $700 higher overnight, but according to Coinbase, eyeing 10K is good, but the price outlook might favor the bears. More from Omkar Godpool, Coinbase. He says, in his view, the corrective rally from the lows below 6,000 ended at last week's highs above 11,700. But the sell off will likely resume this week or next week, according to the weekly chart. Bitcoin is likely to test 8,211, a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of the recent rally in the short run. A daily close below that level would shift attention to $6,000. A possible corrective rally is likely to run out of steam around the downward sloping, bearish biased 10-week moving average, which is now seen at 11,251. The long-term bearish to bullish trend would be confirmed once the weekly RSI has moved above the resistance at 53. We might be seeing some more downtimes for the price of Bitcoin. But that's about it for this episode of Today in Bitcoin. Thanks so much for watching. We're about out of time. We're going to check the chart. They say they're not fans of Elon Musk. They're not fans of Tesla. They say that Elon secretly has more Bitcoin. They don't believe what he's saying publicly. Respect to Elon if that's true as well. Why tell the people it's truth? Why should we care about divorce lawyers? How did Mad Bitcoins have such great insight into the future of strip clubs? Just that good. The volume is low. I don't know that the volume's low. Turn your microphones up. I'm talking on the mic pretty close. If only the American taxpayers had a brain. I guess not. And the better the project, the more FUD it receives. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out tonight. We'll be at the Internet Archive in San Francisco live. We're going to do a little speech, a little panel before they play the movie Banking on Bitcoin. Good stuff. If you're in the San Francisco area, drop by the Internet Archive tonight, around 7. And that's about it. Volume is low. I disagree entirely. How about now? How about now? How about now? All right. We'll check it again tomorrow. Until next time, bye bye.